Hey guys, and welcome to my kitchen. I'm Julia. So in this episode I'm going to show you how to make some Danish flødeboller. If you translate that into English, that will mean some cream buns, but I have searched for cream buns on Google and they look nothing like the Danish flødeboller, so I'll just teach you how to make those. So let's get started. So what I was used for my flødeboller is some kransekage masse, and that is what we call it in Danish. I'm not actually sure whether Denmark is the only place that we have this, or maybe some other countries, but I have chosen already to bake these because my kransekage was store-bought, so it's just all about getting it out on a baking sheet and just bake it in the oven for a few minutes. But I will tell you what you can use instead of these. You can just take some marzipan and cut into some smaller pieces. Just make sure that they are round, just about a half centimeter thick or something like that, and turn on the oven at 180 degrees C, convention oven, and just bake them in there until they are a bit golden brown, just for about 3 minutes, and then they are ready to be used. You can also just use some waffle wafers, or what you call them. The regular Danish flødeboller are actually also served with these wafers in the bottom, or the store-bought are. I just don't really like that. I like to use marzipan or kransekage masse, but you can also use some plain crackers or plain biscuits. Yeah, you can just use whatever you like. And then I'm also going to use some sugar, some glucose syrup, some cocoa powder, some raspberry powder, and I just took some freeze-dried raspberry and took it in the blender and just blended until I had a nice powder. And then I'm going to use some egg whites, some water, and some white chocolate, and maybe some cocoa butter, just to make sure that my white chocolate is nice and thin. So first up, I have to get started with whisking my egg whites, and I'm just going to pour them into my stirring machine here. And just start with the stirring. And I actually meant whisking instead of stirring. I have to keep whisking until it is nice, thick and stiff. And while that is going on, I'm going to take a sugar thermometer and a small pot and just place this on here. And it is very important that it don't actually touch the bottom, but just the liquids that are going in there. And I'm just going to pour in my glucose syrup, sugar and water, and just heat up until it is 117 degrees C. And when my mix is at 117 degrees, I am going to pour it into my stiff egg whites while they are stirring, and I'm just going to pour them in very, very slowly. And when all of that is in and it is whisked well, you have to keep whisking until it is nice and very, very thick and stiff, of course, as before, but it's kind of have to be a little bit of a hard mass, but not that hard. But I will show you when it is done, then you can see the consistency of it. So now my egg and sugar mix is done whisking, and you can see the consistency over here. It has to be kind of tough. You can see how thick it is, and that is the perfect consistency. And it is just so yummy, so I just have to taste it. Just this alone, it is so good. But now I'll just divide this into 2 portions and then I will return. So my mix is now divided into 2, and to this bowl over here I'm just going to add in my raspberry powder. So, and then just fold it in. And into this bowl over here, I'm just going to add in my cocoa powder. And just mix that in. Just like that. And I really should have sifted my cocoa powder instead of just pouring it in, because that means there will be some small lumps of cocoa powder in there. But that is my mistake, so just remember to sift that in. But I have folded it together as nice as I could, and it tastes amazing. And now it is just about to put these two mixtures into some piping bags with a tip, round tip like this. And then I'm just going to place some good lumps of it onto my kransekage bottoms, these here. But remember, you can just use marzipan or a plain cracker or biscuit in the bottom, or those waffle wafers, or what you call them. So my flødeboller are now done drying, and what I'm going to do is just to prepare a water bath. For half of my chocolate I have in this glass bowl here, and I have just added 15 grams of cocoa butter to make sure that my white chocolate is nice and thin and easy to work with. And then over here I have my other half of my white chocolate, and when this half here is completely melted and is about 48 degrees or so, I'm going to take it off and pour it over into this white chocolate and just let those two melt together. And when that is done, it is time to cover my flødeboller. And when they are cold, I'm just going to sprinkle over some pistachios over my chocolate ones and some more raspberry powder over my raspberry ones. And when my chocolate is dried and they are completely done, they are ready to be served. So I really hope you enjoyed my flødeboller recipe, and both the cocoa powder and the raspberry one, they turned out so good. Both. Just remember to sift in your cocoa powder instead of just throwing it in like I did, because that will make those bubbles in the cream, or what you call it. So just remember to do that, otherwise they are just so good and so tasty. I've already taken a bite of this one. Just so good. And if you want to give these a go, just go down in the description and you're going to find all the ingredients down there. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel here, and I hope to see you all again tomorrow. Bye!